At first glance, they're pretty damning verdicts. The Leopard 1 tank is being used as makeshift artillery due to weak armour. The PZH-2000 self-propelled gun overheats, and its suitability for war is strongly questioned, while Germany's IRIS-T air defence system uses missiles that are costly and in short supply. The comments came in an internal German army report, which outlined the feedback Ukrainian forces have given on German kit. The document was leaked and later emerged in the German media. The stories caused a stir and brought headlines like these, but what does it tell us, and is it really that poor? Well, firstly, German equipment is far from the worst performing kit in Ukraine. That honour goes to Russia's turret-tossing tanks with their exploding autoloaders. But the story has generated debate on how well exquisite Western weapons cope in the intensity of a complex, grinding battle like Ukraine. Let's take the Leopard. According to government figures, Berlin's given Kyiv 103 Leopard 1A5s and 18 Leopard 2A6s, with another 22 of the more advanced 2 model in the pipeline. The Leopard 1A5 is a Cold War tank from the mid-1980s. On the plus side, it's light, around 40 tonnes, compared to 64 tonnes for Challenger 2. As a tank, it offers good protection from mines and artillery, and the firing system for the 105mm gun on the upgraded A5 model is the same as on the Leopard 2, but it is relatively light on armour, and that makes it vulnerable to capable anti-tank weapons like Russia's Kornet, plus some of Moscow's more powerful drones and loitering munitions like the Lancet. That appears to be the reason the Ukrainians often dig them in and use them as static artillery. The Leopard 2, on the other hand, has proven to be a deadly weapon, possibly Ukraine's most effective tank, despite being vulnerable to a top-down drone strike. The problem seems to be less with the weapon, more with how they're deployed and operated. Germany has a repair facility in Lithuania where they fix damaged Leopards, but there's been reports it lacks spare parts. Untrained Ukrainian troops have also reportedly tried to fix Leopards in the field, and in doing so made things worse. The Leopard 2 is complex to maintain, particularly its fire control system and V12 twin-turbo diesel engine. It requires specialist technicians and tools, plus the ability to work under constant threat of drone attack. Hence, they often end up being sent to Lithuania or Poland. German tank crews also take 3 years to learn how to use a Leopard properly, so it's not surprising that so many were lost during Ukraine's unsuccessful counteroffensive in 2023. They didn't have enough of them, crews didn't have enough training, and they didn't use them in the way they were designed. Leopard was built for fast, high-intensity battles, not the grinding attrition of Ukraine, where the skies are saturated with drones and electronic warfare. They were also designed to operate with air support, and Ukraine has very little of that either. So how does it compare to other tanks given to Ukraine? Well, the American M1 Abrams gas turbine engine can actually be removed fairly easily. It's held in with 10 bolts. A well-trained crew can apparently do it in less than 20 minutes, but it does need a recovery vehicle. Challenger 2 is also complex to operate and maintain, plus Ukrainian troops complain it's too heavy and sinks in the mud. It also requires 2 sets of tools because the turret uses metric measurements and the hull imperial. It's also worth noting that Ukraine hasn't lost a staggering number of Leopards. According to the tracking site Oryx, of the 1,147 tanks Kyiv has lost, 17 Leopard 1s have been destroyed and 38 Leopard 2s. That's out of a reported 250-odd Leopards supplied by Germany and other nations, so around a fifth of them. Compare that to Russia, which has lost nearly 4,000 tanks, around 100 a month, since the war began. So what about this claim that German tanks are just over-engineered? Comparisons are being made between Leopard and Germany's Second World War tanks, formidable weapons like the Tiger, which could easily knock out Allied tanks, but was unreliable and costly to maintain. It's a neat comparison, but the Tiger's problems were as much to do with a lack of parts, ammunition and fuel than any design flaws, which it did undoubtedly have. And crucially, the leak report says many of the weapons Germany has given to Ukraine, like the Marder infantry fighting vehicle and the Gepard anti-aircraft gun, have been very effective indeed. There's also been reports that the intensity of combat in Ukraine means some systems, like the Panzerhaubitze 2000, have been pushed beyond their design limits. The gun was intended to fire up to 100 rounds a day, but in Ukraine that's regularly being exceeded, increasing wear and tear on the system. Germany has established dedicated repair facilities in countries like Lithuania, and both Rheinmetall and KNDS, which make the Leopard, have now set up workshops inside Ukraine itself. While the headlines don't paint a flattering picture of the Leopard, it's still among the best tanks in the world. And critically, it's provided huge survivability for the crews using it. What the conflict in Ukraine has done, though, is shifted the dial, with militaries now looking increasingly at sustainability, not just firepower. While this report says that hardly any German heavy equipment is suitable for war, it's a conclusion that many Russian soldiers on the other end of a Leopard may well take issue with. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.